It's another glorious day.
It's another glorious day to rant.
Rant.
Yeah, I love Fridays so much because the rant is on Friday.
Yes, me too. I like to see my friend Steph. Hi.
Hi.
St. Steph.
Hey, how's it going over there?
Pretty well. It's warmer than where you are.
I bet it is as I wear my thick hoodie.
Yeah, the funny thing is for us, I still feel a little chilly, so I'm wearing long sleeves and it's
Yeah.
But no,
If I was where you are on this chilly day, I'd probably be in shorts.
Yeah, probably. Let's see. Oh yeah, you would definitely be in shorts. Actually, at this point, I actually am wearing shorts. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm wearing shorts, but a long sleeve shirt. Okay.
Yes.
Enough about the weather.
Yeah. And that's Eyes on Weather.
Yeah. Welcome to the rant, y'all. How you doing?
Welcome everybody. Come on in, grab a seat, grab your coffee, grab your thoughts and an open mind, and join us.
I have my No Drama Llama mug.
I have my Change is Life Giving mug. Change is life giving.
Yes.
Oh, welcome. Oh, we've got some loves and some likes happening.
Love that.
If you are watching on Facebook, let us know you're watching. Those loves and likes help for sure. Click that share button and help the rant make a radically affirmative new thought happen in other timelines and other news feeds. We really appreciate that. Yes. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube,
thumbs up.
That's it. That's the one you get. Thumbs up.
There's a thing that my phone will do. Hold on. I want to try this and see if I can. I'm turning it on. So if I do this, right?
Yes.
I think what's going to happen. Yeah. See, my phone does that. I use my phone as my camera.
Nice. Yeah.
It's a funny thing. I'm going to turn it off though, because it'll drive me nuts if I do something.
If you keep doing that. Yeah. Let us know where you're watching from, where you're at in consciousness around radically affirmative new thoughts. Do you have something you want us to rant about? We love to know. We love to interact with you and engage with you. So let us know you're here.
We know that you are here by your comments. And there's a wonderful comment from our glorious Audrey.
Hey, Audrey.
An eternal thumbs up. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can live in the eternal thumbs up.
Appreciate it. So it's been a week since we've ranted, everyone. How has your, I often start one of our classes with the statement, the question that Ralph Waldo Emerson would ask his colleagues and comrades at the beginning of a meeting. What has been made more clear to you since last we spoke? What has been made more clear to you since last we spoke? Let us know how your week's been.
Yeah, what has been made more clear to, because I'm actually trying to think what's come up for me this week if I were to relate to that question and answer that question. Well, I'll tell you what has been made more clear to me this week. Irrespective of the atmosphere that we are experiencing collectively, kindness and compassion are always going to be what rises to the top.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know I've been catching myself saying in this house recently, good always wins. Love will prevail.
Yeah.
And it's true. It always demonstrates.
Always.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning, Michelle.
From Yuma, Michelle.
Yes.
See you this glorious day. Sherry, greetings to you. And
hey, Sherry.
Been a wonderful week of cultivation. So nice. I don't know if you know this, Steph. I'm going to let the whole world know because I'm so delighted and excited. But Sherry is my new full-time staff person here at Unity of Tucson.
Nice.
While her official job title is assistant to the senior minister, she is so much more than an assistant.
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful for all the
nice. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for the two of you.
So yeah, little smiley face emoji there. Those are the original emojis. Remember that?
Yes. I still use them. I still use the original OG, right?
Yeah.
Hey, my mom's here.
Hey, hello, Mom.
Let me grab a book.
Well, Yeah, I can. I mean, you see, there's my bookshelf back there.
Yeah.
Giving and receiving random acts of kindness is fun. So that was my home practice that I offered last Sunday. If you are not familiar with my community, one of the things is at the completion of my Sunday message every single week, I give a home practice. I say, here's something that you can actually do in your life to help put what you've heard today into practice in your life. You know,
imagine.
Right? Because if it's not practical, it doesn't matter. I can sit here and spout philosophy till I'm blue in the face, but if it's not practical in your life, what is the point? That's
Ernest Holmes. Too much time on theory and not enough on practice.
Right? Yes. That's on page actually I don't know. Yes, I do. I was like, I know I have it right here.
Yeah, never far from reach, for sure.
Yeah, never far from reach. Never far from reach.
Never far from reach, you guys.
Yes, page 51. One of the great difficulties in the new order of thought is that we are likely to indulge in too much theory and too little practice. I have done full talks on that.
Yep.
Yes. There you go.
Awesome. My mom said she waved back.
Yay! I love it.
I love it. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You know, and two, like we just finished teaching this book. We just studied a group of us studied this book together. And I asked, like, do we have a better understanding of affirmative prayer now that after 5 weeks of studying? And everybody was a resounding yes. Like, yes. The question was, do you feel more confident and comfortable with the activity of prayer, right? Affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treatment, whatever it is you're calling it, talking nicely to yourself.
Right.
You know, you got to practice it. You got to put it into your life and embody the principles.
Do you know what I love? So I'm going to acknowledge that in the religious science movement, Centers for Spiritual Living, and in the Unity movement, we both have education systems that offer opportunities to learn a method of prayer. And I always say a method of prayer because, you know, technique or method is anything that works. Yes. If it works for you, use it. But we do teach a technique to develop a method to allow ourselves to engage in prayer in a way that becomes more productive for us. You know, I always say that the application of spiritual principles and a spiritual practice in my life has enhanced the quality of my life. One of the primary practices for me, of course, is the practice of prayer. And in each of the denominations under the New Thought umbrella, I don't know another word to use for it. We each have a 5-step prayer process that we teach as part of the fundamental education. And in this book by Linda Martello-Whitsett, I love the way that she has broken down the 5 steps. And I will always say I will still add the 6th step, but you know, we sometimes use this language in ways that can be confusing to people. So in religious science, of course, it's recognition, identification, realization, gratitude, release. Well, then you have to go into a whole thing of like, well, what does that all mean? You go into long discussions about what this means. In Unity, it's relaxation, concentration, meditation, realization, appreciation, right? And again, you have to go into like, well, what are you concentrating on? What are you meditating on? Like all of this stuff. I love the way Linda and Ian Weir-Morency have like distilled it down to these statements that are active statements because she's made them verbs, right? Yeah. And she's made them first person active things where the 5 steps for her are: I open, I recognize God is, I integrate, I am, I realize, I can, I have, I know, I appreciate this shift in consciousness. And I will say the 5th step in that, I allow. That's the 6th step now. That would be the 6th step. So I think let's just up it to 6 steps. Yeah. Because for me, I allow is also me saying, in my allowing, I'm stepping out of the way of thinking I need to manipulate or control the outcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I love that she's
I've
formulated
even
it as active verb statements.
I said a couple times in this class, like the bold audacity now of someone who's written a book called Divine Audacity, the bold audacity to just rename and rearticulate the process of prayer that has been around for over 100 years. Right? We get stuck in the New Thought movement. There's lots of conversations happening about how stale and stagnant the New Thought movement is, and it's because of our sacred cows.
Yeah.
How we do something is how we are creating our own dogma and our own indoctrination. If you don't pray like me, you're not praying right. Well, that's not true. Right. This book says multiple times there is no wrong way to pray, but here are some steps that work for us. If they might work for you, they might work for you, but you're not going to know unless you try them.
Yeah. Pam, the book is Discover Your Divinity. It is by Linda Martella Whitsett and Deanne Weir-Morency. It was just published last year or the year before.
Fresh hot off the press.
Fresh hot off the press. It is. It really is a follow-up to Linda's first book, which was called How to Pray Without Talking to God. And her idea was, well, you know, what she has learned through her time, she wanted to expand upon that. You know, she led the Silent Unity part of Unity World World headquarters. She ran Silent Unity for many years. Like Martella would say. So
spiritual hero.
Yes.
Yes. So.
Yeah. And I always say too, you know, I start every Sunday by saying, you don't need to believe what I believe. You don't need to think what I think. You get to make up your mind. But here's what I teach.
But here,
I agree.
Here's what I teach.
Yeah. Here, I agree. We are long past due for. Actually, this is the way I'm going to phrase it, and it's going to sound maybe a little. I'm just going to phrase it this way, and it's going to land how it lands.
Yep.
We are long overdue for the next Charles Fillmore, Myrtle Fillmore, Ernest Holmes, Melinda Kramer, Nona Brooks, Emma Curtis Hopkins. I feel like the voice that these voices that were so prevalent in allowing New Thought to be spread in such a wide, magnificent way. I think too many of us are playing it safe.
Yep.
And
being nice. We spend a lot of time being nice about things.
Yeah.
Because we think it's kind. But being nice and being kind are two different things. Because being nice is often through gritted teeth. Right?
Yes.
But being kind is a natural, divine, it's a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being nice is work. Being kind is effortless.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I love this.
I embrace the New Thought part of this movement. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
You know, Sherry, knowing what I believe your path is, I mean, I don't know what your path is really, and neither do you. Just by the way, we know that we have things that we've set up to guide us. But who knows, Sherry? Maybe you are the next major voice in New Thought. Think about that.
This reminds me of a story. Hey,
Anita, yes.
Anita, hello, beloved.
I will absolutely accept that. Why not?
We're here. We're ranting. We are living it.
And at the same time, Anita, why not you?
Yeah.
I think we all need to, you know, here's what the call is really. It's about, are we truly stepping into our power rooted in the awareness of who we are?
Yeah.
And I think the one who actually, I think
we get stuck up on labels and stuff too.
I just quoted it, and I'm going to butcher it because I don't know which page the quote is on. But on Sunday, I used this quote of Ernest Holmes that basically says the one who throws themselves with abandon into the limitless sea of receptivity is the one who will do the most good. And it is to say, we need to stop being afraid of speaking our understanding of spiritual truth.
Yeah. Stop being afraid of speaking truth to power.
Yeah. Well, that too. That too.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, I think that's why when we came up with this idea of the acronym of RANT, Radically Affirmative New Thought, I think that it resonated with us because people think of RANT as something aggressive, right?
Yes.
We're not saying that we have to be aggressive, but the idea of the radical affirmation rooted in New Thought is
all the greats have been radicals. Radical, because they are called to demonstrate change or shift or transform something bigger than themselves or ourselves. Right. And so that's radical. Loving someone unconditionally exactly as they are, that's radical. That is something that is radical. Finding joy in the messy and in the fertilizer, that is a radical idea. And so that's how we're going to shift and change and evolve, when we discover what's radical about us as unique and unrepeatable expressions of source. When we discover that divinity within us, the fires that will start. The grace and the glory that will unfold for all of humanity when enough of us figure it out.
Yes.
Right? Ernest Holmes, show me one person and I will show you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we are all part of the movement.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
A grand rising.
Yeah.
I feel good. Like, we've been on for 18 minutes and I'm like, I feel so good.
I feel so good. Yes. Yes. We're going to shift and change the world.
Yeah. Where love is, fear cannot linger, for love dissipates the anguish of fear as light neutralizes the darkness. Ernest Holmes' Divine Discontent. Yes, indeed.
Wow. Look at my mom dropping some Ernest Holmes.
So it is. I love it.
Love it. She did a practice to celebrate Ernest Holmes' birthday. She got some Ernest Holmes quotes and shared them out, and it was awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes. So
I had a funny experience. Actually, I have to tell you. I had a funny experience last week. Because I think about, we so freely quote Ernest Holmes and we so freely quote all of the luminaries in the New Thought movement. And I went to the theater last Friday, and it was the play. The play was The Playboy of the Western World, an Irish play. I loved it. We really, really very well produced at the Rogue Theater Company here in Tucson. It's closed now, by the way. You can't go see it. It closed last week. But I was there last Friday, and I walk into the theater and I look and it was actually one of my high school drama teachers was in attendance there. And, while I have seen her in the last couple of years on and off once in a while, like our association was years ago, decades ago.
Yes.
Right. Because I graduated high school in 1991. But I just went up and said hello, and she looked at me. Oh gosh, John Zenz. And everybody from like a period of my life all call me John Zenz, like as though it's one word, which I'm fine with too. But she said, it's so funny. I just read your name in the paper today. I was like, what? She said, yeah, there was a section of the paper and there was an article and somebody quoted you in your ministry.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yes, apparently I was quoted in my local paper last week.
Awesome.
Something that I said, and the funny thing is I don't have a subscription to the paper, and I let go of my digital subscription because I wasn't really reading it on a regular enough basis. So I wasn't able to even go look it up. But yeah, I got quoted last week.
Yeah, I still feel a level of shock when someone quotes me back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, I did a talk at a conference quite years ago now. And then was on Facebook later, and someone had memed something I said. And I was like, oh my goodness, it was shocking to be memed.
Just realizing something that I want to add to my Sunday talk notes.
Yes, absolutely. Where's everybody at? Has anything popped up for you watching that you would like to rant about? Any thoughts or questions or, ponderings, contemplations that you would like addressed or chatted about? You just let us know. Fill up those comments. Let us know.
Yeah. Because we can talk.
Yeah, we can talk. I'm going to be preparing a talk for this Sunday as well on being enough. I am enough. You are enough. So that's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. Dr. David Walker wrote a book called You Are Enough. Always have been and always will be. Yep.
Born that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to put this up, but thank you, Pam.
Yeah. We're still shy, right?
We're like, oh, but you know what? We're talking about not doing that anymore.
I know.
And look at us, like, oh no, we don't want to be like, no. You know what? I will step forth and say that I have the consciousness, to change the world in my own personal way, as we all do. I mean, I don't want to separate myself, and that's the thing. I'm not saying that I'm separate from. I'm saying I want to live as an example and a demonstration of what we all have at hand in our minds and in our hearts.
Yeah.
That's what for me it's all about.
And for the advanced students, right? I'm an advanced student. I'm not a finished graduated student, because you can still see me. So I'm an advanced student though. Yeah. And I struggle with finding people that are able to inspire or motivate me, right? I preach 5 days a week. I treat 5 days a week live. Like I'm there. I know all of this stuff. I want to be challenged. I want to be pulled. I want to grow and evolve. So I'm looking for my Ernest Holmes. I have, in the last few years, there's like, where are the people who are gonna help the advanced students become more advanced? Right? Because we're here doing our best, getting the word out, being a part of the movement, sharing our wisdom, and praying up and loving up on everyone we possibly can. And then we're like, oh, my cup is empty. How do I give more of myself? Because I know the world requires more. If there's, someone isn't pouring themselves into me. So that's just an interesting conundrum I have found myself in. Being, not putting people on pedestals or things like that. Because in my experience, you meet your heroes and they disappoint you. And so some of my great inspiration in the past is no longer a great inspiration, because they're looking for their advanced teachers too.
Right. Well, and that makes me think about, I don't need to rehash this.
Yeah.
But I'm going to rehash it. One of my, a primary motivator for me in ministry was really related to my experience backstage at some conferences, when I would meet some of these luminaries in the movement that I, people that I looked up to, who their public presentation was one thing, and their private interaction with me backstage was another thing, and they were not in alignment with each other.
Yeah.
And I basically looked at them and thought that it can be disappointing when people that you look up to let you down. And there's always the possibility that people you look up to are going to let you down, because when you realize we're all human at the end of the day, none of us is what is the word? What is there's something that is wanting to be expressed through me, and I want to articulate it in a way that makes sense. It'll come to me. Anyway, I made a decision that the person that people experienced publicly on the platform on a Sunday is the same person that they would experience in fellowship, in social time, in after the service. And if you came to my office and had a private meeting with me, or you bumped into me on the street, I decided that it was my integrity was to be my authentic self in every situation. Warts and all. Because I'm willing to talk about the stuff that sucks in my life.
Yeah. I have the same philosophy. How I do one thing is how I do everything. Yeah. And it causes harm and separation if I divide myself into two characters.
Yeah.
And I'm being somebody for somebody else.
Yeah.
And I've seen it in my own life, the showing up physically if I am divided within my own being. And, allowing situations or experiences for me to become a chameleon and change who I am for certain people. I tend to walk away from those situations, because if I can't be my true authentic self, then this isn't the situation for me to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anita. I appreciate that. Yeah. Some other things. We've had a request.
Yeah.
I will say that because of the way the technology works, if we were to try to do that right now, it might not sync up right. So I don't know that we should try that right now. But how about this? When you come visit us in April here in Tucson, Steph, we should definitely make an opportunity to sing together.
Absolutely. It's going to be a working trip. We'll get lots of things pre-recorded. We're going to do a live, we'll be in the same room for the RANT. That's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. So there's, that's exciting. It's being worked out for sure.
Yes. Yeah. How do we keep showing up for others unless we constantly fill our own cups? That's that's the practice.
Yep.
That's the practice. And if you have not taken care of your own spiritual needs, do not try to support other people in their spiritual needs.
Yes.
It will not work. And yes, we are all like that at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So Pam, I reached beyond spirituality and listened to perspectives in psychology, science, behavioral science, etc. Yes. My mind is blown on a weekly basis. Take what resonates and leave the rest for others. Yeah. I will tell you, Pam, because I know that you've had a similar journey as I have. I'm very much on the quantum science thing right now.
Yeah, me too. I love quantum physics, quantum sciences.
And in fact, because I've been working on a rewrite of practitioner studies curriculum, my practitioner students right now are in a deep dive into quantum physics and the intersection of quantum physics and spirituality. So, yes. Yes.
Andy's saying, "Can I come and meet you?" You're welcome to come on the Sunday. We're going to do something awesome on that Sunday. Come to this Unity of Tucson, and
you're actually going to be here on Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday, yeah.
Here on Palm Sunday, yeah. So.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yay! Oh, I have a follow up for Audrey. Audrey posted a question that we never answered last week.
Oh,
when
great.
I had mentioned this idea, Jesus was political but not partisan. Audrey actually posed the question, what does partisan mean? And I just want to be really clear. partisan means to be on only one side of the argument, right? So in this country, there's a lot of talk about the left and the right, and those are partisan ideologies. The left has an ideology, the right has an ideology. Those are partisan ideologies. What Jesus was is he was political, but he was saying, I'm not going to solely align with one ideology. Here's the partisan ideology that I will affirm for myself, though. This is my partisan point of view. My ideology is a partisanship of love, kindness, mercy, and compassion. That's it.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and here's my stuff. Oneness is my religion. Love is my doctrine. Life is my sacred text.
And so it is.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Live life the best you can each and every day.
I hate to reduce it in this way, but where's the t-shirt?
Where's the t-shirt? Yeah. It's a prototype is made. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grateful to know.
Along with a whole bunch of these. Heart-centered and inspired at One Love Awakening. Yes.
We're actually due to have new t-shirts done here at Unity of Tucson. We haven't done new t-shirts in over a year, so.
Oh yes. Get them while they're hot.
Get them while they're hot. So what else do you want to hear us rant about?
Ranting about. Today's conversation reminds me of one of the stories I love to tell in talks about a Buddhist, or not a Buddhist. It was a monastery, Christian monastery, where brothers would be in it. At one time, this monastery was just magnificent. Everybody would come there. It had glorious gardens that everyone took care of, and it was such a thriving place. And over the years, it started to diminish and dwindle in its numbers, and it came down to there's only 5 brothers left in this monastery. And there was a cottage on the edge of the property that a rabbi would come and do a week or 2 long silent retreat. And one of the brothers was wondering how, maybe this rabbi has some answers for us on how we can re-aliven or build this monastery back up. And so the brother went down and said, and knocked on the door, and the rabbi opened, and he said, I'm sorry to bother you in your time of retreat, but I just want to know if you have any answers about how we can aliven the monastery, and how we can bring faith back into this space. And the rabbi says, oh my goodness, I don't have any answers for you. And he went to close the door, and he stopped himself, and he said, accept this. One of you is the Messiah. And he closed the door. And the brother went, oh my goodness, one of us is the Messiah. Oh my goodness, which one of us? So he went back to the monastery and he told everybody, he's like, he said, one of us is the Messiah. And so maybe it's Brother Edward, because Brother Edward, he's so grounded and he's so good with plants. Everything he touches grows. Oh, but maybe it's, Brother Malachi, because he is just so discerning. He just when he speaks, it's truth. And all of a sudden, all of these brothers started treating each other differently, because who knows which one of them is the Messiah. And so over time, the gardens they started doing more for one another, and the garden started growing again, and people started coming. Like there was an attractive energy once again. So people started coming and studying with them again, and and all that has changed is a truth was told. Every one of them is the Messiah. Every one of us is the keeper of the light. Every one of us has the power to shift and transform whatever it is we want to. And so, sometimes answers come in questions or cryptic experiences, and every one of us has something inside of us that can do more and be more and unfurl whatever wants to be unfurled.
Yeah. The New Thought approach to what is often referred to as the second coming, because it does differ from traditional Christianity, where in traditional Christianity, the idea is, Jesus is coming back, right? I'm just here to tell you that's not happening. Jesus is not coming back. But the Messiah, the Christ awareness, Jesus was called the Christ because Christ means anointed one, right? Yes. Messiah means anointed one who has an awareness. And that's really what the anointing is all about. It's an awareness of, the divine identity. And so the second coming is actually the illumination of the Christ consciousness in all humanity. And that story is a call to each and every one of us to be the Messiah, to awaken to our anointed mind, to awaken.
Uh-oh. A thought so powerful it paused itself.
I was like, wow, all of a sudden I was gone.
It's a great screenshot, though.
Is it?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
It'll be fun. I'll have to watch that back later.
Yeah. Every one of us has the same seed within us. Every one of us has the same power and potentiality to be whatever it is we need to be.
And Jesus taught that.
Yes.
He said, these things you will do and greater than I.
Yeah, even greater than I. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's so funny. You and I can bring Jesus up every single rant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a couple weeks ago, was it Reverend David Alexander, leave room for Jesus. And I'm like, yeah, we've got him. We've got him we've got him covered. There's room for his wisdom in what we do. Because there's room for wisdom, period.
Wisdom, period.
Yes.
And if the wisdom is, if there's wisdom that resonates as spiritual truth, doesn't matter which source it has come from. Let it resonate as spiritual truth.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
This is an interesting day.
It is. Yes. A sacred calling, our internal light shining out into the world. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And all we need to do is answer the call.
Yeah.
Because that call is happening. It's a sacred call to your authentic, unique, and unrepeatable expression. So you just have to answer that one call. That's it.
You know what you just made me think of? I'm actually going to go back to something that was happening at the beginning of the rant today. I mentioned that I give practical work every single week, but I didn't talk about why that even came up, because it was actually something that Audrey had said. But you've just reminded me of it. And in fact, your mother made me think of it, because last week my whole talk was one spark can light up the dark, or something like that. Right? And I was talking about, allowing our light to shine. Of course, then I bring up the Sermon on the Mount, back to Jesus. Don't hide your light under a bushel was a significant portion of my talk. But the practical homework that I offered last week was one that I bring back every once in a while, and it's called SPARK. Spiritual practice in acts of random kindness. And I said, if we're going to spark ourselves in the world, go engage in acts of random kindness. And so that's what I called on my community to do last week. Anyway, it all comes full circle, because I realized I talked about the practical application. I didn't talk about what the practical application.
Yeah, we just got into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's important. It's important to make this practical. I mean, like I've said so many times, look at this book. It's like if you are a beginner and you see this book and you think, I have to read that whole thing to change my life. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Realistically, just read this part here. And you're gonna get it. But also the importance of studying together. The great minds have always studied together. Great minds throughout history have always studied together. The great philosophers, the great scientists, the great astronomers, every single person who had a great idea was talking and contemplating with others. So get in a class. You don't need to do this alone.
Yes. And you know, that makes.
You went away.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on today.
Now we swapped.
Yeah, that's very strange.
It is. It's very strange today. Yes.
I think I'm going to have to call my. Yeah. But what that makes me think of, and I'm giving away a little bit of one of the quotes that I'm using in my Sunday message this week, is God is speaking no matter who is talking.
Yes. Yes.
What if we approached that? What if we approached life from that point of view, that every person we hear speaking is the divine speaking to us?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean that everybody's going to utilize that voice kindly.
Right. No, we need to learn how to interpret and translate for ourselves when the frequency coming at us isn't what we want to resonate with.
Yeah.
But there is a message in everything.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. We can definitely learn how to go easier on ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it allows us, we talked a lot about grace last week. It allows us to also have grace for those in our lives who are challenged in that.
Yeah.
Grace does not excuse behavior. I will remind us all of that. Grace,
yes, we're not excusing bad behavior.
Consciousness of grace does not excuse behavior, but it is a reminder to us that irrespective of the behavior, there is a divine essence at the core of that expression.
Yeah.
And that's what I tend to focus on. So when I'm challenged by, people I see in the news, politicians and various, business leaders, and even some religious leaders, they may say something that challenges me on the surface level, but I choose to understand them from a deeper point of view. And that for me is how grace works.
Yeah. Yeah. What is mine to know about this?
Yeah.
We can, and I mean, you and I, we live in the question, right?
We do.
We question. And I'm not questioning other people and their behavior. I question my own thoughts. I question, why do I think that? Why do I feel that? What's going on inside my brain? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The theme this month in our community is curiosity. And if we just approached every moment with the question of why is this this way? What is there for me to know? Like, live life from the point of view of curiosity and allow yourself to discover the answer, not think that we have all the answers.
Yeah. Yeah. I know nothing. Now, what do I need to know?
But not even what do I need to know? What can I know? Because that is, for me, it's like, what is possible for me to know in this?
Yeah.
I mean, you can be, what do you need to know? Certainly that is a valid question.
Yeah. If you're in a sticky, you're at a fork in the road and you're wondering which one, which path is going to be more rewarding, more fulfilling.
You make me think
more loving.
You make me think about this one point, and I took a video of it, and I never really posted this video because it didn't play out the way I really intended for it to, but I still have the video on my camera roll. But when I was on day 5 or 6 of walking the Camino, I came up to a point where, and one of the things that you do is you follow the arrows. There are actually markers that you follow, and many of it is, spray painted yellow arrows that you see in various places. And I came to this one point, and there was an arrow pointing that way, and there was an arrow pointing that way. And I was like, what is the right path? Like, which path am I supposed to take? And I thought, well, if the arrows are pointing both directions, the likelihood is they are both right. That was my first thought. The likelihood is they are both right. The thing that I had to discern is which one will be the more appropriate path for me right now. And what I subsequently found out is that, and I took the path to the left, and the path to the right. What I found out later from somebody who has walked the Camino multiple times is that at that particular spot, if you take the path to the right, it's actually a more treacherous walk, but it will still get you to your destination.
Yeah.
And so allowing myself to just be led and to say, I don't know which way to go. What is possible for me here? I'm going to follow this path. I took the path that I guess was the more graceful path, I will say.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And we have that compass in us, right? Like that's just, we create so much of our own suffering because we're trying to resist something that is pulling us to it.
I would posit that we create 100% of our own suffering. I mean, there may be considerations that, the suffering is the result of something in our experience, but that is still, we have a relationship to that something. And we can reconfigure in mind that relationship. So and it's just been something that's helped me. If I am 100% responsible for my perception of suffering in life, then I am 100% responsible for alleviating that suffering from my life. No one else is going to do it for me.
Yeah. And all we need to do is change our minds.
And so it is.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So in honor of the season for nonviolence and supporting nature of doing this work together, I do want to share that Reverend Tammy is going to be doing a 4-week program called the Tao of Peace. So if you want more peace in your life, please feel free to visit oneloveawakening.com and grab your seat for that. It's going to be on Saturday mornings. There's 4 Saturday mornings. And it's 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central Time. And it's what we do with the Tao is we intersect the Tao Te Ching, thank you, with the science of mind teaching. So how the science of mind, how we can use our practical spirituality to know oneness, to know peace, and to expand that peace into our lives and into the world. So if that sounds good for you, oneloveawakening.com, you can grab your spot for that. It's a sliding scale, and we want you in the room because we want more peace in the world. So if that beginner spot of sliding scale doesn't work for you, just reach out.
Love that.
Reach out. Yeah.
Well, I guess, are we pitching?
Pitch. Yeah, you got something coming? Yeah.
So I actually have something coming up. So I am going to be teaching Discover Your Divinity. In a 6-week class called Prayer Fundamentals. It will be at 6 p.m. Arizona time. I want to be really clear, Arizona time, because we do not observe daylight savings time where I am. So it starts on February 19th. You can register at unityoftucson.com. But the exciting thing for me is that I am co-teaching this with Reverend Ronnie Tretzvin, who is the senior minister at Center for Spiritual Living Tucson. So we are co-facilitating this class.
Collaboration.
And it is a hybrid style class. So yes, we will have people in our physical space in the classroom, but we also have a Zoom option for those of you who may not be in Tucson. So you get to interact with us in the classroom too.
That is awesome, because I've been talking about this book every Friday for 5 weeks. So people are going to be pumped and ready. If you did not get into my class and now you're excited, Dr. Jonathan's got an opportunity for you.
Yeah.
Because prayer changes lives, you guys. Yes. It changes lives.
Yes.
The power of affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treatment, or talking nicely to ourselves. I'm playing around with quantum realignment.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we do, quantum realignment. Because I shared a quote. Let's see if I can find it even faster this time. Just this morning, Charles Fillmore. Dun, 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 dun. Here it is. Every time we speak, we cause the atoms of the body to tremble and change their places. Not only do we cause the atoms of our own body to change their position, but we raise or lower the rate of vibration and otherwise affect the bodies of others with whom we come in contact. So a trained mind is a wonderful mind. Yes. And you can shift and change the atoms in your body and the world around you. So why not get trained up and learn about affirmative prayer and how to use it in your lives?
And so
why not?
Yeah. I suspect that quote of Charles Fillmore actually came from Atom Smashing Power of Mind, which was one of his later books.
Christian healing, actually.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had Atom Smashing Power. And it got. Yeah. It went back to a Unity home. And I'm like, oh, wish I had that book. But
well, you can always, you can get it. It is available.
Oh, it was like a first edition.
Oh, I see.
It was a
Well, one of the things that's happening though is Unity as an organization, Unity World Headquarters, which actually handles all of the publishing of Unity books and materials, they're actually working actively on a project that is not changing the meaning of the books, but updating them for a contemporary understanding by actively removing gendered language and seeking to standardize scriptural references so that it's all using the same translation, things like that. They're actually working on a lot of updates with the book. So if you get more recent versions of some of these books that may be in your bookshelf, you may find that they're a little more accessible, and you don't have to do as much active translation, when God is referred to as he. That does happen in your thought books.
It does. It does. Yeah. That's because they were all written 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And the world looked different 100 years ago, for sure. Yes. For sure. Yeah.
All right. I feel like we're just kind of rambling now.
Yeah, we're rambling now. Yes.
Maybe it's time to, acknowledge the love and continue on with our day.
Yes. Yeah. Every single one of you watching right here and right now, live or on the replay, we love you so much. We're so grateful that you're here, that you're willing to open your mind and to rant a little bit with us.
Yes.
So grateful. And I appreciate your presence and your consciousness.
Ditto. And I appreciate you, Reverend Steph St. Amand, Saint Steph. I am so grateful for you in my life. And I'll look forward to ranting again with you next week.
Ditto.
2 weeks from today. Is that right? Yes. 2 weeks from today, by the way, I will not be available for the rant. I just want to give you the heads up.
Heads up.
My in-laws are going to be visiting, and we are going up to Northern Arizona, to the Grand Canyon, while they are here. And so I will be actually traveling that day.
How far is the Grand Canyon from you?
It's like a 6-7 hour drive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I haven't been there since I was a kid.
I can't wait till we have individual jetpacks we can just zoom around with.
Okay. Well, that doesn't really appeal to me so much, but all right. it works for you, have at it.
Okay, see everybody.
Have a good one. Love you all. Okay, I'm going to go hit the button now.
Okay.
Peace and blessings. Bye.